Okay, everybody, thank you for all of the comments. Greg DeTranova 1503, I'm not sure if that's the right name, you'll see it in the bottom here. But he pointed out something that kind of opened up a can of worms and a lot of speculation, and that's exactly what I wanted to have happen on that particular video was, can these pistons be installed reversed? I guess the answer to that question is the old 6-pack guys back in the day, the wrist pins were off-center, and if you did flip a flat-top piston in the 6-pack rods, it would change the geometry of the motor that it was pushing more straighter. That's what I think the comment said. More straight, and did boost performance in theory. So, these Keith Black pistons that I've got, KB 237s I think is what they are. They have a centered wrist pin in the piston top, so there is no advantage. And Pops was telling me, well, we can get out the clay, we can put the motor back together, go through, do the clay, and see what kind of imprints we get. There's no point in doing that. If it was straightening the trajectory, then we'd see if the Keith Black pistons would change geometry, and it might be advantageous, but at this point, who cares?
It just floats in there, but you can show them on that.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do, I saw a guy, I'll give him credit down below because we watched his video and he gave me the confidence. This is my jig. We probably should have it on a hard surface or something like that, so when we smack this, it'll just come out. But we're gonna use a little torch and we're gonna heat up the rod and see if we can just smack that pin out. Put the pin in some sort of little ice cube tray. I might have to go up get some ice, but to put it back in, then heat it back up. We'll just pop that, flip the rod, heat up the rod a little more, put it back in, put the pin, and smack the pin back down in there. And the guy in the video just kind of used his fingers as a guide and just kind of visually put it in the center, and he's like, there's enough slop play back and forth that he's like, you don't need to be 1,000th of an inch within certain tolerances. Right. I mean, yours are sloppy and mine are sloppy, so that's what I think we're trying to do today. There's Pops' motor. We got it out, and we're gonna probably start to do some stuff with his, but I saw on Keith Black's or Summit, when you buy the Keith Black 237s, it comes with all the wrist pins and stuff like that, so you might be able to get a hold of Keith Black and get your wrist pins. And then let's start putting yours together.
I need my
keepers on
the ends.
Yeah, that was what that was a turning point in the video for me the other day. Is it's like, they don't have keepers. Well, that means I didn't put them in there because we didn't heat this and put it in. So
yeah, yours are on there solid.
That's the moment I felt like, oh man, I'm off the hook. I didn't make the mistake.
Right.
My machine shop put these on there this way, so now we're gonna flip them, and then I will have the reliefs in the proper spot, and we got to clean up, and then.
But he may have put them on there because he knew it didn't matter which way you put them in; it's not affecting any of the power.
He would have built the motor this way and given it back to me, and if I got it back and spent more money, if he would have completed the build, I would have been happy if it started, and I never would have known this. Nobody would have ever known. But a viewer seeing that it was backwards, I'm actually happy that I get to put it the way these piston tops should be installed.
The rods were incorrectly the way they were.
Stop saying incorrectly.
Yeah, because we put them in correct. It's just the pistons weren't put on the rods the right orientation. They were 180.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're going to try to mess around with that and see if we can get one. If we can't get one, you can see that I've only got piston 1 out. I still have the rest of them in if you want a closer inspection.
Yeah. So
there's your closer inspection of all my rods.
Mine doesn't have that problem because mine float on the pin inside the.
But you,
so it needs the
Okay, you were
Yeah,
arguing
see.
with me yesterday that your rods can go in either way. Are you
Oh, no.
willing to retract those statements? You're like, oh yeah, we'll see if it matters. It matters.
No, my rods don't matter which way they go in.
Yours don't.
They're not marked at all. They're just H-beam,
Gotcha.
Eagles.
Okay.
I don't think I can't find any.
Well,
markings
remind
on
me
it.
today at some point to show the difference between those Eagle rods and these 446 pack rods, because I said that in one video, and I think I was so dejected over everything I didn't actually marry them up side by side to see how beefy the Eagles are next to 446 pack rods.
Okay.
So, all that being said, let's see if we can heat up a thing and pop a pin.
We'll see.
Okay. If not, they're all going to the machine shop.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been heating this.
It's
Puff
starting to
can
get
see a
little.
little bit pink in it, so let's take this, see if you can pop her out of there. Nope.
Nope.
Alright, we've been heating for probably, what, 5 minutes, so
Yeah.
we smacked it twice so far, it didn't go.
Third time, maybe a charm. If not, we're going to drag out our press and see if that will,
Oh, hold on, let me get
if that'll work.
situated. Okay, smack it. Nope.
Whoop. It went.
Oh, no, it didn't. It didn't go.
Wow, I thought it did.
So we're gonna come up with a press jig.
What we have here is
I want to put two
our
in
press.
this too.
Yeah, they're right there on the table. This is already tight. Of course, anybody that knows a press, how they work, forces it down. And we got the socket in there. This is on the cradle, but we were worried that as it pushed, it's liable to spread our 4x4 post apart. So we're making a jig with some screws. So that should hold it. If you want to start pumping away, we'll see how it goes. It's pushing the piston down. Scared me. There is a pin emerging out the other side.
Don't try to catch it because it's going to be hot.
No, I'm not going to touch it. All that noise is crazy.
Now, I want to make sure I'm not going to mar the edge.
Right,
with that.
because this may be bigger than the pin. So
No, there's no way that's bigger than the pin.
oh, you're right.
I want
You're
to
right.
make sure it's going.
Well, it's all the way. Where's the flashlight?
Yeah, if you can shine a light on it, let's see.
Okay, it's starting to go into the.
Into the rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me put a piece.
I think. Yeah, put a piece of cardboard.
I want to catch the pin. I don't want to mar
Here, you
the edge of the pin.
use this.
Then you just catch it with
I
the
will.
rag.
This looks like a push-up coming out of there. There it is.
We got ourselves a pin out. We'll just put those sockets back in.
Yeah, we could use the sockets as pins.
Fine.
Why not?
All right, so let's
Now.
just do this.
Twist it.
Oh,
Put it back in. Now
so
take
that's
this
how that's
up.
gonna go.
Let's push it back in. One down.
Should I heat up the rod?
I think it's still hot, but we'll see.
Well, we got to go way up because now we have a pin all the way sticking out on top of a socket. So we may need a little bitty socket. Watch picking up that pin too. And let's make sure we get every piece of trash we can on it to
we can try
push through there.
Yeah, let's try to.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's try to put it in there by hand. I mean, maybe after it cools off, but.
Well, we can put that in a vat of ice, heat up this just like he said, and then he just kind of did it.
You're right.
I feel, and we've actually got dark line marks where it should go on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
see it. There's where our pin should land, so we can center it and kind of set it on there and call it good.
All right.
Does that look scratched up or beat up?
No, they don't look like it feels smooth as it can be.
All right.
Should I run it? Does it hurt it to run it underwater?
No, run it under cold water.
Cool it, because it's, you can't touch it.
All right. Back in a bit. Now we're moving forward. Okay, so
we got all the pistons, all 8 of them out, and the one that we took out, tried to press out. We'll have to have this fixed. It looks like it's angled.
Maybe. So what we did is we took our press, because the guy that did it at home, he didn't show taking one out, but he showed slipping one in. And that's probably what the majority of people will do, is they'll buy the rods, they'll buy the heads, and they'll slip in their pins if they heat that. And that probably could be a do-it-yourselfer at home, but I think we marred this a little bit trying to just press it out, and we didn't have perfect angles. You can see our jig, the head set in there, and then the piston rod set here, and it was about the right angle, but
pushed it out okay, but to try to push them back in, I don't think that worked very well.
Yeah.
So hopefully we didn't damage this enough that they could possibly hone that out a little bit and everything be fine.
I don't know. I may have ruined a 6-pack rod, or I may have ruined a KB head. We'll see what the machine shop says, and if I gotta get a new one, we'll see.
There's a 6-pack rod, and there's my Eagle.
Compare it with this one here.
Well, that was wrapped up. I was just going to compare those parts. They're about the same beefiness down below.
I think so, yeah.
And then
but the 440 rod that came out of my motor looked like that one next to this one. It looked way less beefy. Yeah, you got more strength here. I think this is like the modern equivalent of a 6-pack rod versus a 440 rod.
Yeah,
just a standard 440. But yeah, those look beefy as heck.
Yeah, I'll be real happy with
I would be using those if I didn't have the 440 6-pack rods. But if I can't get another 440 6-pack rod, if that one's ruined, they tell me, then maybe I'll buy a set of those.
Yeah, but then you'll have to have all those pushed out and just do it all over again.
Yeah, I guess so.
Where mine's different. My pin, like this is a good one.
Yeah, you got a floater.
Mine floats.
That's a socket. That's not a pin, but
I know. But it floats in here, and then of course spins on here. His is pressed. I mean, it goes in. You got to push it in, and it's stout. Yeah. I mean, it'll move, but it's solid on this, so it can only walk so far, and it hits inside the piston. But mine, this moves and this moves, so I have to have the little C clip.
Little container clips.
Retainers, yeah.
Retainer.
I still have to get those for the KB. His is.
I'm sure you can order it.
His are 236, I believe.
237s.
Oh, yours are 237s, huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
Those are KB 237.
And mine are 236s.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. And then I have the Eagle rods.
But your top of your piston is way different than mine, so. In any event, we're not comparing pistons, we're just showing some progress in what we're doing on the motor.
So it's all stripped out. We'll get to the machine shop.
And that's what I'm going to take to the machine shop. If you have a single 440 rod, I believe this is number 1. So would you say a KB 237 with this top. I don't know if all the tops are different, but that's the top of my piston. KB 237 with that top. Number what? 1, 3, 5, and 7 would probably any of those would work if you've got a single or a single 6-pack rod, 1, 3, 5, or 7 as well. I think that's worst case scenario. The machine shop can't fix those. That's what I'll be needing. So,
right.
I'm sure I'll place this with other stuff. So happy watching the next.
This is all on hold right now.
Yeah, this project. This is on hold, so you're not able to pull your garage in the shop anymore. So.
You mean my truck in the garage? Not my garage in the shop.
Put your garage in the shop.
Yeah.
I'm still dejected. I'm mad. I don't like messing stuff up, and I will probably assemble another motor, but I'll never take a project half done from somebody and try to make sense of it, because this has been stressful.
I know.
Okay. So.
I'm only using this on here because these are stripped out.
Oh yeah, we put the jig together and our jig was sketch as well. So I'm sure this will roll into, like I said, whatever the next thing we're working on. Probably getting his 440 together and making it start to look like this.
Right.
So next 440 in the works, all his table of goodies to get it going. And then I'll probably find out tomorrow from the machine shop how long it's going to take, and then we'll continue this video. Yeah. Just another update to whatever video this ends up in. Today I took it to our local machine shop and had all these pressed out. They've got like a pneumatic press or something that just, they push a button, punched all the sleeves out. So my pistons are now separate, and they said the Eagle rods that Pops has are really good. So
yeah, 1.09.
1.09 is the sleeve.
So that's the pin.
The one that Pops and I pressed out with our little 20-ton Harbor Freight press. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. If you can see that it's tweaked a little bit. So in any event, I either have...
We only did that by trying to press it back in.
I know. We pushed it and it pressed it.
Pressed it and it just bent it.
So, situation, if you're watching this and you have a single number 1 6-pack rod, I don't know if I even want to go back to this.
No, you're gonna.
I think I want to go with the Eagles, because that's what our machine shop said was better. They're better than these beefy 6-pack rods. He's like, these are basically junk.
So these are
one person's opinion.
They're heavy.
Are your Eagle rods quite a bit lighter?
Yeah, they're a lot lighter.
Grab one of those.
Yeah, they're a lot lighter.
So that's kind of where I'm at, is if I could buy one single number 1 6-pack rod, I would do that and then press all these back in. But I don't really like that. I think I'm gonna go with the sleeve and the pins, the keepers on the wrist pins. Let's do that.
Yeah, because they're H. Those are.
No. Oh yeah, and the guy told me
those ARP.
Those are pressed in. Well, those are slick too. Yep, look perfect.
Yep.
And significantly lighter.
Are they? I haven't held them together. Oh yeah.
I think at least, I don't know, not half the weight or anything.
100 grams. Somebody said
100 grams.
No, I was reading. Whatever it is, it's that much lighter. But
and the other thing that I would like viewers to comment on, or to at least weigh in, is the crank was balanced in this. The machine shop says bring in your crank, which has already been balanced. Bring in your crank, bring in your harmonic balancer, bring in your flywheel, bring in the pistons, the rods with the piston rings, and they need to be balanced. And my idea was the whole contraption spinning, rotating at speed, they balance it like a tire. You balance the tire, you spin the tire, and then it tells you where to add weight. I think the process is a little different, that I feel like they spin it all up and they take away weight and grind some. You can see some grind marks on my crank here.
Yeah, this has already been balanced.
Yes, and so have these. You can see all the grind marks, and then you've got others that this one barely has any. You can see this is all rounded, and this...
And then this and the flywheel, they come balanced.
But my question to somebody smarter than I am is, if my crank is balanced, I bought a balanced harmonic balancer. I'm probably going to buy a balanced flywheel. Is the balancing of the pistons just weight? I can put all these on a gram scale and go, okay, that's 786 grams. All of them are within a gram of each other. Is that what balancing this is? Or is the process something more? And I'll probably watch YouTube videos on it, but if somebody is watching and says, I'm going to get those Eagle rods, do I need to take the Eagle rods and the pistons along with the crank, have the crank balanced again with the harmonic balancer, and that when all that should be good? That's my thoughts. 200 and what? What did I tell you earlier? $285 when I called you on the phone.
Over $200 to
Oh, there it is.
balance.
Yeah, $285, and he needs rings on pistons, rods and bearings, crank, flywheel and bolts, and harmonic balancer and bolts.
Right.
And I just, seeing as how that's done, if I get new rods, which I'm probably most likely going to, does that whole process need to start over again? That's my big question. So we'll see. Like the last videos, tons and tons of comments from great people out there that know way, way, way more than we do. Mm-hmm. I don't think we really want to know motor stuff, do we?
No.
Will it work? Put it together. I want it to run. That's it. That's all I care about. I'm not trying to get 2 more tenths out of the quarter mile. So that's as good an update as we've got for today. If someone has a single rod that I could buy to complete my set, since this guy is bent, I would buy that. That way I could sell this set of 6-pack rods as a complete set. If this goes on for a year and I'm still stuck with these 6-pack rods minus 1, then I'll piecemeal them out and maybe help somebody out that's in my same situation.
You'll probably find one somewhere.
$700 for rod number 6. Yeah. Number 7 is expensive, let me tell you. Okay. So that's all for the update. So thank you for watching, and whatever this turns into next, I'm sure it'll be great. Enjoy.